first movie chest number 55, I believe. Hitting some iconic ones here. 55 maybe.
Like I feel like are we going backward? I feel like we were at like 58 or something like that.
Back to 53.
Like,
I don't fucking know.
Down. Yeah.
Next week we'll be at 100. So who knows?
Cool.
But
yeah.
But this week we got Speed, huge 90s movie I'd never seen, so it was definitely like missing in my catalog.
Yeah,
you guys,
it's iconic.
Who had seen it? I think a couple of people had seen it, right?
I had seen it before.
As a young child on fucking like FX or something.
I think I've probably seen it as a kid. Yeah, on one of those channels. Yeah. And then like I randomly saw it like a couple of years ago. Like, I don't really know like why. I think I was like I don't know. It was just like on TV or something. I don't know. Like again,
it's definitely a cable. Like had a great cable run.
Speed did. One of their darlings.
Well, I think I heard Speed 2 has had a better cable run, even though it's a shitty movie. So
interesting. Yeah, because like I didn't even know there was a Speed 2. I didn't really do a lot of research on it too. I just like Googled the movie to see like what apps it was on, and then like Speed 2 came on. Yeah. Oh, so it is actually a boat. I was just like making jokes, and then it is actually a fucking boat. Like,
yeah. I mean, they hit like almost every other mode of transportation in this movie. So they gotta
train, boats,
ship.
Yeah, true.
And I think only Sandy B comes back for the second one. Weirdly, I don't think Keanu did it at all, but for some reason, Sandra Bullock is.
How the fuck is there like a whatever? How do you connect those dots?
Yeah, she's on a boat and it gets hijacked too. Oh my shit! Which I mean, to be quite honest, that might we can get into the speed talk, but I actually like this movie a lot. But I would understand it's hammy and tropey in a way that the second one.
So you didn't like Tombstone, but you liked this.
This one's way tighter and way more like plotted and like
this
thought
one
out.
lives up to the name. This one never slows down.
Yeah.
Literally, it's like you're on.
I'm gonna second that. This is definitely a kick-ass movie. I mean, I thought going into it, I was like, an hour and 54 minutes. How are they gonna keep me entertained? God damn it, they did it. You know,
right?
I was in.
Nice.
Yeah, it was funny too. Like it was like I don't know, the cheesy lines, man.
There were some fucking lines. Yeah.
Yeah. I was kind of worried in the beginning. Yeah, some of those like over the top action movies for me haven't like been hitting the right way that I want them to. Like it's like they're hamming over the top, but I just can't like get on board with some of that shit anymore for some reason. And I kind of felt that way in the first like 20 minutes of this movie with like Keanu and Jeff Daniels.
The elevators.
The elevator shit. And I mean, once it picks up, once it like literally says that it can't slow down anymore in the structure of it, it like became a whole new like energy in a movie that propelled it to like a great hamminess movie, I guess. Like
what kind of hooked me in was actually that whole elevator scene. I just thought that was like a good way to kind of just rope you into who the characters are, where their heads are, and then obviously who the villain is. But I don't know. It was like super tight, and you kind of just knew where they were and what they were doing the whole time for that action set piece. I don't know. I really liked it. I thought it was pretty good.
Nice.
Yeah, I thought it was a good intro. It reminded me of the first Mission Impossible a little bit. I mean, it's just because it's an elevator scene, but yeah. And it had like, I don't know, dude, the stunts were just off the chain, like throughout.
Yeah, for sure.
Cannot knock that.
Specifically one with Keanu, I think it was him where he's like getting onto that little platform that he's about to shoot under the bus with. Like, and you're like,
he did 90% of his own stunts.
Yeah,
so.
You're just like watching the road go by to the side. I'm like, is Keanu like in the back of a truck right now? Like that is like real, I think. But
shit, man, they crashed a bus into that was an excuse to crash a bus into a plane. That explosion, the reaction of those people.
Oh, I guess the plane will go by. Like,
wow. Also, I don't know if you caught it, but like the car that he steals initially when they start doing the chase, where he has to like chase down the bus. I don't know. It's like a Jaguar or something. But like right after he gets on the bus, he's like talking to Sandra Bullock, and she's driving the bus, and they like hit a tow truck or something, and it like shoots a car over the front of the tow truck, and it's the same car. but it's like there's no way that he would have been like able to get in front of them. But it's like straight up the same car. Like I just thought that was funny because like
I did notice
maybe it's like they gotta fuck up a car and they just like wanted it to be the same one. You know, like honestly, I don't know.
Save the budget where you can, right?
I get it, yeah.
And in terms of like the hamminess, did you see who was like technically the writer?
I actually didn't check.
No.
Josh Whedon, I guess, kind of took over the script and kind of rewrote it. So
that makes sense.
That's where I think all the one-liners and hamminess kind of comes into play. Because that was the only thing that kind of turned me off was when people would open their mouths. Like not Keanu, his one-liners were okay, but like the people on the bus were just kind of like, okay, guys, stop.
I know
You're taking me out of this. Yeah. So
I actually kind of liked the guys on the bus. I don't know.
I mean, really,
I was
the dude.
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, that's like the overall characterization in this movie like surprised me because I kind of viewed this movie as like cookie cutter 90s bullshit, but it like these characters feel like multi-dimensional in ways that like we don't feel extras in this like modern movie age. I don't know. They're all like,
that's true.
They feel like they just got ripped out of an actual life in this movie, whereas like other people are just like, I'm an extra, you know, like.
Yeah. Well, they all actually had backstories written for them, but that got cut out of the film. Yeah.
Yeah,
they were pretty upset about that because they were invested in their characters. But
yeah, I mean, like Alan Ruck, I thought he was pretty fun as like the goofy fucking like out of towner guy, but
he was okay. I'll give him that. Yeah. That was the one of the tourists where I was like, okay, this guy. But it's because it's him. Yeah. All the other people though, there was like,
you didn't like Gigantor, that dude?
Yeah, didn't like that dude.
He filled the slot. I thought he was nice. I mean, the people that made me laugh, which was like, it's just like I don't know, it's kind of different too in these movies now where like the elevator scene, people are like yelling that they're about to like, I don't want to die, I don't want to die. Nowadays, you just hear people be like, ah, like because it's like too dark now to kind of say those things. But like, on the bus, he's like, what did he say? He's like, there's a bomb on the bus. And then there's just like this old woman in the background voice that made me laugh so hard. He's like, what do you mean? Like, there's just like these little like blurbs of dialogue that are goofy as shit, but I think people will be yelling shit like that, honestly, where it's like, I don't know. So I think they kind of bought it, you know?
I feel like that might have been like stage directed where it's like, just react. Just like someone were to tell you, just like do what you would do, say what you would say. Yeah, it definitely lends itself to the realism, even though this one, the hamminess just totally overblows this, but I don't know.
some lines I couldn't get over. What was it like what was Keanu's final line on the bus, or not on the bus, on the
I'm taller.
Train? I like that. Yeah. That one was good. But when he gets on there, he's like, he lost his head. Yeah, he lost his head. He like literally like poses up to be like, he lost his head.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, man, we could have maybe cut one of those, you know, but
man, and then like I just like when he's deactivating the vest or whatever, he just straight up looks at it, pulls one cord out, and then he's like, okay, it's good. Like
we did it.
Like what the fuck? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely like is simple, and like if you think about it too hard, it's kind of stupid. Because like if you're going 50, some of those turns and shit, I just feel like you're not making at some point too, you know,
dude. Or like when they had to make that jump, like literally the front end of the bus just like shoots up somehow.
How does that not trigger the bomb? It's like, how does that not, you know,
it registers, like, it's in air, like still like going 55, like that's, I don't know.
And like how the fuck did this guy, it's like the next day or like 2 days after, well, I guess it's sometime after.
I was wondering that too.
The elevator stunt, because like how the fuck did he have enough time to like rig these buses? Like the one just fucking exploded, and then like the other one, he like rigged multiple explosives onto it, because I mean he blew out the steps like when that lady tried to get off. So like I guess like it's just like he like had to put in some thought kinda into this, right? Like
well, the problem is when you're thinking too logically, because if you're going to go back and think logically, why did they not look for a body when he blew up in the skyscraper? They were just assumed, oh, he's dead.
And then celebrated.
Woo!
Yeah. Dude, also one thing, just like I don't know about the elevator scene, nothing really like that bad, but like I don't know, just like with my background, like I couldn't get the thought out of my head. Like I wonder what that crane is like like how much it could actually lift,
What's
like
it
what it's rated
to?
for.
Yeah.
Because like, I mean, those like bars just like crunched. I mean, like it's like not like it's paper. So like I don't know. I guess I was just like curious because I mean that crane.
It's
Like
rated
why else would it be on top of the building unless it can hold up some heavy shit, right? I mean,
That's what I was thinking too. When it started to crumble, I'm like, hold up.
Yeah, like I don't know. I thought it was a good idea. Like
it's got to be the most badass shot, badass like action like beat you can think of though. You know, we need fucking we need the crumple. We need the bus hitting the fucking ramp like
The lines are just the cherry on top.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, I enjoyed it.
We're just two cool guys being cool. I don't know, man. Honestly, though, I think Keanu, this might be like my favorite role that I've seen him.
I was thinking the same thing. I think he peaked in this role.
It might have.
Honestly.
Yeah.
This and Sandra Bullock, I think Sandy peaked as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like she was at least kind of refreshing from like the people on the bus. Because like I don't know, you guys said a couple of minutes ago, the people on the bus were fucking bad.
What do you mean? Yeah. No, she plays it cool. She plays like, I mean, her characterization too, like she's got this little line of like, they'll write songs about you one day when she hops on the bus. And like little moments like that, like endeared me to her immediately. And then she like proves that she's more capable than everyone else on the bus. So like, yeah, definitely sold that role.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you guys think of Dennis Hopper as the villain?
Man, he turned it up to 11 for sure.
He knows what movie he's in. That's for sure.
I love his evil cackle. I think it was when he like right before he blew up, he just cackles.
Yeah. Dude, when he's like running away from Sandra on the train, he's like, "I'm gonna get you, Jackie," and he's like, and it like trails off the yell. I was like, "Oh god."
I love how like, I mean, he was written fun though. I think too. Like he plays it hammy and plays it kind of standardly, but you know his own vibe of it. But like the fact that he's like just watching football as like the whole thing's going down, it's like he's like, oh, that's interactive live TV, Jack, or whatever the fuck he says. Like he's a very like internal funny character too, which is
name of a madman. I like that.
Yeah, given your villain personality like that, I think is a good move. Just to, I mean, he's definitely deranged, but I don't know, he's still likable. Weirdly,
yeah, it's not like dark in terms of deranged. It's more like this dude's kind of crazy, but you kind of can't stop watching this dude blow up, you know?
Because he's just
you know, also, I was kind of just like wondering, like when he blew up the house, like when they went to the house, like why didn't it, like there was kind of like a 5-second delay before, from when it started like beeping before they like ran. I feel like they could have at least like ran. Maybe
Jeff
jumped out a
Daniels
fucking
just
window.
hears the first beep and
I don't know,
accepts
man.
his
Like
fate completely.
Yeah, like he totally did. Like
that was like the greatest death face I think I've seen in a while.
Oh man,
like, fuck.
Yeah,
of course
dude.
it's rigged.
Yeah, I thought he was pretty. I mean, I don't know what you guys felt, but I felt I was surprised that this took most of its like it was mostly on the bus, but there was actually like the elevator, the bus, then the train with like cars.
A decent amount like off the bus.
Yeah, there was like way more off of it. And I was curious what you guys thought, but the hallway stuff, like after the elevator, when they get into a hallway with Dennis Hopper and Keanu's pointing the gun, it's like written there and it's like well done that you like put the theme into it, or I guess like the progression of the character, like I'm gonna shoot the hostage. Now I can't shoot the hostage the second time, you know, like because I care about the hostage now. Like it's there, but like I felt the movie like screech to halts when they were in those hallways both times. Like it was kind of like I was like waiting for because the speed's all there, and then you get to this like boring ass hallway, and you're like, we should be on like a fucking epic like vista right now
or something.
Yeah. I don't know, but
some boring ass hallway.
I guess like also, I guess like I wasn't paying very good attention like at the beginning of the movie. I mean, I had seen the elevator scene before, but I couldn't remember. Like, is Dennis Hopper like listening to them on the radio?
Yeah, he's in the other elevator.
Can he like hear could he hear what they were saying?
I didn't catch that.
Because like I guess all I wanted to point out was that like Jeff Daniels asks Keanu, he's like, riddle me this, or like whatever he says when he's asking him a question on like what you should do. And then literally Dennis Hopper asks in the same way that like when they get into the elevator. So like that's why I'm like maybe he heard them like because I don't I
think
know.
he was on their
frequency
because he had his walkie and an earpiece. So I think he was like trying to. I don't like the camera situation. How realistic
I just like
it is,
assumed
really
he could hear them, you know, because
Mhm.
like why else would you add that in unless you're like dropping hints that he's a cop already, you know, or used to be a cop.
Yeah.
And later he calls Keanu after Jeff Daniels blows up. He's like, "You thought it would be your buddy? Whoops, he's fucking not gonna make it," or whatever he says. You know,
you remember that? Yeah.
So he's probably just always tapped in.
He's like, "Tell me some good news," and then he's like, "Your buddy's dead." Like,
yeah. There were like moments though where it's like, this movie's way dumber than I think. Like, why isn't he like blowing up the bus right now? Why, like, he can't see them, you know? And then like they brought it around like enough in like their writing to be like, oh well, the choppers overhead. He's using the news, and then it's like, well, now they can't. When you get in the airport, you can't use the choppers. Like, the geography of it all was like actually well like plotted, I thought, and it like all made sense actually.
It made the hokiness more bearable, I guess.
Yeah,
you know,
you can latch on to actual realism somewhere there, you know, and then like hit the one liner and be like, and then go back to kind of like speed. You know, so.
The bus jumping 50 foot across the freeway. You're like
50 feet. Yeah,
it's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, and I laughed too that the train track wasn't finished. Also, like the first one, I was like, yeah, the road's not finished. You know, sure. And then the second one was like, the train track's not finished at the end. It's like,
goddamn,
finish your fucking roads, guys. Like,
hey, there was a lot of construction going on in the 90s.
I guess so. Yeah, it's just like those tropes. They're definitely there, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
Like even the bus driver getting shot, you got to like take the driver out of the seat and put somebody else in the seat. You know, like
yeah, they find ways to make
knew how to keep
work.
the action going.
Yeah.
So fun fact, this is a good pairing with Tarantino because they wanted him to direct. He was one of the directors, and he turned it down to do his Reservoir Dogs.
Oh, what do you think this would have been like if he
directed? Damn. And this is in his top 20 favorite movies of all time. So he obviously he's like, damn. But yeah, pretty interesting, huh?
That would have been fucking kind of cool. I don't know. I'm just curious to see what he would have made it like, I guess.
Yeah, a Tarantino like thriller like that.
Probably would have gave the characters on the bus actual backstory.
I don't know if it would be like high octane.
They would have given him the leeway.
Honestly,
yeah.
Like I could see him like diving into the characters more rather than like the situation as much.
Yeah, because like that's kind of what I was pitching too. With like the character backstory, you just like cut to a different scene, like in the past or whatever. That's like this character what they were doing at this time, you know, like in the same way that Reservoir Dogs does it, you know.
Maybe.
Yeah, definitely.
That'd been cool. I feel like they definitely would he would have been the person they like give the leeway to do that for too. Like, Tarantino's fucking writing these characters, like. Let them
they might have actually had their backstory involved. Never know. Old lady who slowly creeps towards the door and dies might have actually had a purpose.
Why did she need to leave so bad?
The way she did it too. The way she was just kind of like
creeping through,
like inching out. Yeah.
And then the FBI guy was like, "Come on, let's do it, woman." It's like, man, he just said they're gonna get fucked if you do this. Like, come on, follow the rules.
Yeah. I feel like that guy who like pulled a gun on Keanu right at the beginning would have we would have gotten his like whatever crime he had done.
What did he do?
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Maybe Keanu would have ended up shooting him too. I don't know. That took me by surprise for some reason. I was like this dude just I don't know. I expected Keanu to like defuse and he immediately like points a gun at him too. I was like, whoa.
The guy just like, would you? I was like thinking about that too. I was like, would you pull a gun on a guy who has a gun pulled on you? Like,
yeah, who you just told like is gonna explode or could explode on this bus? So, I don't
that's
know.
just like the reaction of Keanu to be like, oh shit, there's a gun. Like, if I'm holding a gun threateningly at somebody and a guy's about to pull a gun on me,
dude. Like, why wouldn't you just shoot him?
Yeah,
right. Like,
that's exactly. Just, I guess.
And then he's like, "I'm gonna put my gun away." Like after he pulled it out for like held it out for like I don't know 15 seconds, and then he's like, "All right, I'm putting this away."
I'm
like,
sure whatever you did,
you're
sorry.
Dumb, yeah,
we're both cool guys. We're being cool. We're just chilling. Like,
I'm Keanu, dude. I'm cool.
Just
cool.
It's all good. Zen vibes on the bus. Zen vibes
in. I guess
have you guys? I'm curious. Have you guys ever seen like the original Point Break?
No, that's another one on my list.
I haven't either, but I'm curious because I think it came out before this. Maybe
it did. Yeah.
Like I don't know. I could see it having like Keanu having a similar vibe
for sure.
That's Catherine Bigelow, isn't it? Who did that one?
I think so.
That was like her first.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. This definitely feels like an extension of that character a little bit, kind of.
Yeah.
I would assume, but
yeah.
Yeah, but the final note I had, I was just marked one of the better shots I enjoyed, but it also kind of like is like the pinnacle of why this movie works, where it's like cool but goofy. Was when the first bus explodes, you see like the fire reflected on the payphone, and I'm like, that's a cool shot, man. And then I'm like, that angle does not work at all for how Keanu approached this phone. Like it's like doesn't make any like geographical sense to me, I think, but I was like, you know what, you needed that shot and you wanted that shot and you fucking did it. So.
It looks goddamn beautiful.
Speaking of the payphone, Keanu just saw his friend blow up in a bus. He hears a payphone ring and he's like, I better get that.
That's
yeah. First thing on the list.
He knew, man. He knew that dude was coming back.
Activated.
That's why it made me think it was like the next day. Like literally, because like they're hungover.
That's what I thought too.
I think it is the next. Like they're hungover
at the bar, right?
But that begs the question of why is Jeff Daniels SWAT teaming into the fucking window when he just got shot?
He was limping the whole time too. It's like, what's this man on the field for?
Yeah, that is a good point. There? Yeah, I didn't even think of that. Yeah, like
actually, the timeline really should have been muddled there because they had the whole like medal ceremony too, right? He was kind of like limping for that.
They did.
So it's not the next day then. It's definitely.
So I guess there was some time. Yeah,
like a week or two, like a few.
Something.
So they must have partied after the medal ceremony, and then it's the night after the medal ceremony.
Okay, you know what? That makes sense now. That's okay.
Because he was Dennis was walking. Yeah, yep. All right.
Speed. But how long after? But how much time passed for the medal ceremony?
Could have been weeks. Could have been months.
Yeah.
The guy definitely
enough time to plan.
Yeah, it just took a couple hours to get those bombs, get his fucking watch.
Yeah, right. Like
it's called speed for a reason, man.
Man, like also like I'm kind of just curious why he like I don't know. Did he just blow up the first one just to get their attention?
Just to show how serious he was.
Yeah. That was his test bomb. He's like, if this bomb works, then I know the one.
I mean, like, I don't know. Just think how fucking crazy it would have been if there were like two buses that like couldn't drop below 50 miles an hour. I don't know. Just like
hey, speed 3, baby.
Look, if I were Dennis Hopper, I'd do that. Like, they get your money ASAP. Like,
Keanu was at the wrong bus stop, didn't catch the right bus.
Yeah, like, or I don't know. You gotta have multiple people getting on these buses, like, because you gotta find both of them.
I guess to me, it felt like that Dennis Hopper just psychopath, like for some reason chose Keanu Reeves because he foiled his plan, and then like picked that bus, and then picked another bus across town to fuck with him. Like that, I don't know. It's that in depth for him, I think, but
that level
because like that's I don't know. That's like kind of the only thing I thought of. I don't know.
Yeah,
there's a lot of like holes that you can fill in with this film, but they're not that.
But
like,
you just jump them, bro. You just fucking launch right
you
over
just fucking
exactly.
Yeah,
crank it up, hit 70, and boom.
Yeah. Fly over
bus full of people. Yeah, you'll fucking fly.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, I'm waffling between like 4 and 4.5 because honestly, I thought I would not like it as much, and then it worked its way over me the whole movie. So
I was thinking like
4.5 for me.
Yeah. I was at 4. Yeah.
I mean, I get it because I started at like 3.5. I was like, it's probably gonna be.
It's not like I don't like it. I guess like I don't know. I think I just haven't gotten down like rating shit like appropriately either. Like I don't know. You guys rate stuff way up more often than I do.
Yeah,
so, like,
but we also have like talked enough and kind of like gelled a rating together almost. I think, or like we have a similar idea of like what ratings are now. So just join Letterboxd, bro. See what you got.
I should. I definitely should. Like, I'll write it down.